All right, yo, what's up, guys? All right, so obviously the camera died, but we're back here in the house. All right, so Adrian, so I don't know if you know what's going on, but I have, so you're gonna ask me whatever you want to ask me for the interview.
Sure.
And then my Reddit actually has some questions that they want to ask. They want you to ask me.
Right. I've been getting some messages too. Yeah.
Their own questions.
I have some questions for them too.
Okay, so okay. Well, I guess if you have questions for them, we'll just see how this goes, and then
Sure.
obviously whatever they upvoted, they want you to ask me those questions.
Okay.
And whatever. So let's get at it then. Let's do it. Let's start it.
Well, thanks for taking the time and thanks for watching, guys. Ice, I guess like one of the things that I've wanted to talk to you about is like your background and your coming up and where you're from. I watched this home to Florida. It was really some of the more interesting content you got on there. So can you just start at the beginning? Where are you from? What was your childhood like?
So basically, my childhood, I grew up in near Palm Beach, Florida, and I was trying to, growing up in school and stuff, was always like the class clown. I always wanted like be funny and like at my own expense. Well, I mean, I always got in trouble for being funny in class. I thought it was cool, but. And then so I started off playing RuneScape. We're not talking about. I guess we're not talking about my childhood.
Well, no, I want to hear about your childhood. I want to know, what did you do before RuneScape?
Okay, so growing up, when I was a kid, I was like very, I don't know, I was alone and shit. I had like no friends. That's why I was like a class clown, because I felt like that was the only way I could get people to like me. And it kind of worked, I guess. I mean, people were, not really. I mean, people were kind of like laughing at me more so than with me. So, I got a reaction out of them, which is like nice, but I never became friends with any of these people really. So, but I thought that was good enough. So I just continued to do that. I had a lot of problems, like behavior problems growing up as well. Like I was a bad kid, not because I'm a bad person, but because just like, I was very like, I don't know. I just felt like misbehaving in class was like, I was, the other kids would like see that, and I was like getting attention from them because I didn't talk to anybody, so I just wanted attention from other people, I guess, because that's like what humans crave, right? So, at least me, I didn't hang out with anybody outside of school, so it's like when I'm in school, it's like, yo, this is like my time to show people like what I'm worth, I guess. So that's how my childhood was growing up. And, I got kicked out of schools, and I had like, I went to like 2 different high schools, like 3 different middle schools. And I went to like a behavior camp, like some like fucking camp that I lived in the woods for like 3 months. Cause I was like, got kicked out of all the schools, and that was the only place that would accept me, I guess. So, that was interesting. It was really bad actually, cause all the kids there were like there for court ordered. They were there for court, and I was there because I got kicked out of all my schools. So I was like everyone there was like a gangster and like fucking badass and shit. And I was just like some kid that was just like bad in school for no reason. So
can you tell me about one time that you got in trouble that sticks out in your mind?
Okay. So I was sitting at a lunch table, and the school assigns you where to sit. So these people I was sitting at the lunch table with in the cafeteria was like, they're not my friends. They were just like random people, because the school assigns you where to sit. And the principal walks up, and she's like asking, telling us that it's time to like throw our food away. It's time to, lunch is over. And I asked her if how good she was at giving blowjobs. And I got a good reaction out of the table. The table, like, they were laughing, but it was like obviously the wrong kind of like, be like attention. They were just laughing at me, but I thought it was like good enough. So I was like, all right, this works. I got suspended for 3 days. Thank you, Terry, for the sponsor, but it was like not, good, obviously, but
Right. And so I guess in your view, it was like a way to get attention, a way to kind of not feel so alone was by acting out like that.
Yeah, I thought when I asked the principal for a blowjob, when she walked away to go get the, fucking vice principal or some bullshit, the guys at the table were like, yo, dude, that was so funny. That was awesome. And, I just thought I was like getting validation from these people, that I would not normally receive. So.
Mm-hmm. What did your parents think about this? I imagine they weren't too happy.
No, they were not happy at all. My dad and my mom would just yell at me when I get in trouble at school. And they would yell and be like super angry, but like I thought it was worth it, so I just listened. And I was just like, okay, you know, and I don't know. I fought a lot with my parents, like verbally. We'd like yell at each other and stuff because, thank you, Get Exposed, for the sponsor. Yeah, we would just like yell at each other and stuff because they would like not understand why I'm like so misbehaved in school, but like I would try to tell them, I guess. Like I was too embarrassed to tell them like the real reason, so I would just be like, I don't know. And it was just awkward, you know?
Yeah, yeah. What do you mean embarrassed?
I mean, I don't want to tell my parents I have no friends.
Right.
Although they knew that anyways. I'd sit inside and play RuneScape for 13 hours a day, so.
Yeah, yeah. So Florida must have been kind of a boring place to grow up too, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, Florida was like a nice place. I don't know. Growing up, it was always hot. It was like a good place to grow up, I feel. It was a nice area, so.
Yeah. So you when did you start playing RuneScape? That seems like your entree to all this.
Started playing RuneScape when I was like, I don't know, I think I was like 12 years old or something. I was I'm trying to think. Yeah, probably like 12. I was free to play for like the first year, and then I got my mom to buy me membership after after about a year, and went from there. And I just was just addicted to the game because it was free at first. That's why I started playing it.
What did you like about it?
RuneScape's just like a really, I don't know, it was just fun back in the day. It was just different, you know. It was more like very it was like not grindy. Like I didn't grind back then. You just like dress up your character, and like I don't know, like in the game you just like it was like a social status thing. Like if you had better armor, like people would like hang out with you. You'd have like house parties at like your fucking dope house if you have like 70 construction or some bullshit, like. And that's the kind of things that I liked about it. It was like a very social game. I mean, nowadays it's not very social. It's all about grinding and like high scores and shit, which is not very fun. But you know, back in the day, RuneScape was like a very social game.
Mm-hmm. And I was talking to Gray. What's his? I forgot his handle, but he was saying that you guys were very tight on RuneScape. What was it like? Did you have a lot of friends? Did you meet a lot of people doing that?
Yeah, by the way, I'm not looking him in the eyes when I'm talking because I'm looking at the camera. Like, I'm not gonna give you guys the back of my head when I talk. Yeah, so I met Gray when I was like 14 or something, maybe, on RuneScape. I used to make RuneScape music videos back in the day, which is a RuneScape video, like RuneScape, you'd make like a music video out of like a song with it. And I asked him, because he made videos as well, to be in my music video, and he said yes. And then from there on, we just talked and became like really good friends.
Mm-hmm. What that was kind of an aggressive one. How much would you play? What yeah.
We'd play RuneScape just all day, literally 20 hours a day, just every day, literally. As soon as I'd wake up before school for at 5 a.m., play RuneScape until school started. My parents would tell me to go to sleep. I'd pretend to sleep and have RuneScape on my computer. Like it would just, I was all of the time. Every time I wasn't at school, I just play RuneScape.
Yeah. What did your parents think about that?
They just thought that RuneScape was fucking autistic and retarded, and they just, I don't know, they just said, I don't know, they didn't really think about anything. They're just like, why are you playing a stupid game like all the time? I'm just, why don't you go outside like a normal kid? I'm just like, because that's boring.
Right. I mean, it's almost like you were escaping your real life through RuneScape. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, that's pretty fair.
Yeah. And so how did you get into, creating content on RuneScape? What was that?
Through my videos or live streaming?
Your video. Tell me about your videos first. I was watching like the closing the door videos and stuff.
Okay, so that was way before. That was way after when I started streaming now. So, because my old RuneScape music video channel got hacked and the hacker deleted all my videos, but it had like 10K views on it. It was it was really good. But besides the point, so I started making the closing door videos at first because I thought I got like high as fuck off a blunt when I came home from work, and I was like, holy shit, I was like training prayer, and I was like, wonder what happens if I close the door on these motherfuckers. And I started closing the door on the motherfuckers that were going in and out of the chapel training their prayer because it was fucking hilarious, and I just kept doing it, and I was like high as fuck, so I was like, oh, I'm gonna record this and put it on fucking the 2007 Scape Reddit. Because this is fucking funny, and I used to go on that Reddit all the time, so I'm like, all right, this is cool. And that's how it kind of started, and then the Reddit would upvote the videos because they thought it was funny, and that's kind of how I started.
Do you remember like the first time you got a lot of attention from one of your videos? What was that like?
Yeah, I think the first time I got a lot of attention was on the Closing Doors 4 video. It was the one that was actually upvoted to like the most upvotes, I think, the first time, and it was really it was nice because you know, people just thought it was like really funny and it made me feel good. So I was like, you know, it was just nice, kind of similar to like the class clown thing, but I feel like, you know, obviously people weren't laughing at me, or if they were, it was like more, you know, it wasn't as bad. I wasn't like putting myself in bad behavior, right? He's an interviewer.
I'm a journalist with the New Yorker magazine. I'm doing a story about Paul here, and so I'm trying to just understand who he is outside the stream. But yeah, so you started getting big on RuneScape. How did it go from there?
So I was making videos, you know, trolling videos on RuneScape, closing door videos and shit. And people were like, "Oh, you should start streaming on Twitch. You know, that'd be funny." And I'm like, "Okay, I'll do that shit." I didn't want to do it at first. I thought it was like, retarded or something. You know, I was like, "That's retarded. Like, why would I stream on Twitch? That's fucking a waste of time. I have a job. I don't have time for that." But I started doing it anyways, and I was like, you know, I'll give it a try. And you know, after literally the first stream, I think I had 20 viewers, and then the second stream, I had 50 viewers. And then, you know, I think after the first month, I had, you know, like 100 viewers. And then I don't know what happened. It was just like I started doing this thing where I go and do quests in a PvP world. And I said it was a Dead Man Mode beta because Dead Man Mode was like a really hype thing that was about to come out. So I was like, okay, I'm going to clickbait this shit. And I started getting like 300, 400 viewers from that shit. And then somebody gave me their account and I was staked like fucking like, I don't know, 500 mil. And then I got like 1,000 viewers from that. And then when Dead Man Mode came out, I just went to like 4K viewers overnight. So that's kind of how that went.
And you were like playing like PvP and basically getting people to kill you. Is that what was going on?
Yeah, I just did a quest in the PvP world. It was just like something that people don't typically do. So it was like interesting.
Uh-huh. How did you come up with that idea? Why did you do that?
And I also had song requests as well, which also helped because people, like viewers, could give me their memes, like give me what they, you know, give me some songs that they like viewers would make, and it'd be like funny if it would get played on stream. And it was like community interaction. It's kind of like how the community started to get built, I guess. It was like because people were now interacting with the stream, and it wasn't just like them in chat. They were just like now actively a part of the stream. And I think, you know, that's a good stepping point for the community building.
Right. What did it feel like kind of building this community and getting attention after like being so, I guess, alone and lonely for so long?
I mean, so it's like it's getting attention online. It's great. At first when it started happening, it was like great, but it was like very, like, I don't know. It's very hard to visualize like the amount of people that watch your stream through like just a camera or like a webcam or something. So I didn't like really have a reaction when I was getting like a bunch of viewers because it's hard to visualize that, you know, because I'm just sitting in my room talking to myself essentially. So it was like the first time I really started to like really get like a real like understanding of what was going on was like when I first, I think, went to RuneFest, and I had like, you know, a RuneScape festival, and I had all these people like walk up to me and they're like, "Oh, you know, I watch your stream and stuff." And it's like, okay, these are like, you know, it's easier to visualize when you have like, you know, 10, 20 people come up to you in like 5-10 minutes. You know what I mean? It's like, holy shit.
Right. It's like makes it real in a way that, I mean, it must have been surreal just being like alone in your room and hundreds of people are watching you. It probably didn't feel like much of anything. I mean, like this, even though thousands of people are watching, it's like we're just sitting here watching text go by, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
I mean, it's definitely hard to visualize.
Yeah.
So I didn't really feel anything. I was like, oh, this is cool.
Yeah. And tell me about, you know, how you made the decision to quit your job. That must have been kind of a stressful thing.
Yeah, well, not really. So, well, I quit my job. So,
you didn't?
Okay, well, all right. So I was working at this place called Chowderheads to start out with. I got fired from there because I don't know, dude. I was the manager, and and he hired a new manager that was just better than me. So he just fired me for this new guy, even though I was there for 2 years. But that's irrelevant. I got a new job at this place called Bravo, the Italian restaurant, and I worked there for like 6 months, and then eventually I just quit because streaming was like working out. I was getting like subs. I had a sub button. I was getting subscribers. At that point, I was making more money streaming than I was at the line cook job. And like, even if streaming didn't work out, like I could probably find a new job pretty quick since I had like all this stuff on my resume. I could be a cook somewhere else pretty fast since the turnover rate for cooks are fucking huge. So I was like not too worried about that.
Right. What year was that?
2015.
Okay, so you quit your job in 2015. And I guess you were kind of building your audience through there. I wanted to ask you about this one video that I saw. It was from before you moved, where you're kind of talking to your audience and about, you know, the kind of stress, but also the positive sides. And you had kind of an emotional moment. What were you feeling in that moment? Can you tell me about that?
Yeah, so okay, so anybody who doesn't know he's talking about the time I was like in Florida and I like cried and like on stream, and it was like I was like really, that was like the first time I was getting like really stressed out with streaming. I was like constantly trying to, you know, create like good content and like have like a new thing every day and like you know, trying out new things. I was like at that point I've already broken away from just playing RuneScape, and I was starting to do like variety gaming, and sometimes like the games don't work out. The games just aren't fun to play or funny on stream, and like it just ends up being like shitty content. And it was like it's just like people would like they would say like resident sleeper, and it would like really it would like really trigger me, and I would get like really fucking pissed by it. And I would just people would just like, you know, on Reddit and stuff just be like, or even in chat, they'd just be like, I don't know, just like I'm lazy, or like I don't know, they'd just say like things that would just get to me because I was like trying my hardest to like have a good stream every single day. And when people say that you're not having a good stream every day, it's like, you know, it like makes you feel like you're not working hard enough. But like if you are working really hard, it's like you can't push yourself to work any harder because you think, you know, you're already working hard and like really hard already. It's like it's really stressful because it's like, fuck, I have to push myself even harder, but like how do I do that?
Right. I mean, that's one thing that's interesting is that you get just constant feedback all the time. It's like a normal job, you're just, you know, you might get fired, your boss might get mad at you, but you're kind of answering to this huge group of people who are like really invested in you.
Yeah, and it's not just that. I mean, so if I was like, when I was in Florida, if I had like friends, it wouldn't have been so bad. Like I wouldn't have broken down because I would have had people to talk to. But I didn't really talk to my parents at all. So when I was going through that stress, I didn't really have anybody to talk to. So when I turned off the stream, it was just like I have my own thoughts, and I'm like kind of by myself, and I'm just like to myself. And the only people that I like communicate with would be like people from my community on my stream and on Reddit and stuff. So it was just like when you're getting just nothing but bad feedback from the only people that you talk to, it just really stresses you out. It really gets to you. Because I didn't have anybody else to like talk to at that point in my life. So I was just like I just was very confused on what I wanted to do and like what I had to do.
Wow. Yeah, that must have been really, really difficult. And I mean, because you weren't talking, you didn't have any friends, you didn't have your family. Like, why were you not talking to your parents though?
I mean, like I said, growing up, me and my parents would always argue and stuff, so we just never really built that great of a bond. I mean, I still love my parents, so I'm sure they love me, but I just never really built that great of a bond with them, and we never really talked ever except to argue when we were growing up. They would stay in their room with the door closed, I'd stay in my room with the door closed. I mean, we'd never really talk, you know what I mean? So it's like, even nowadays, it's like kind of awkward. Like I do talk to them, but it's like more awkward than like the average like fucking son with their parents, because I'm just not used to talking to them, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I thought that was like a really like honest and interesting moment. You know, a lot of your stuff is really silly and outrageous, but being open like that, like, you think you were depressed or had any kind of thing going on like that? Because it seems like you were going through some shit
When growing up.
Just in that moment, you know, you were kind of like, I don't know what's wrong. Like I don't
know. Yeah. I it's hard to say, man. I mean, I definitely was going through like some depression when I had that breakdown on stream for the first time. And I definitely I definitely had to just get over it, which I did because I had to stream and like do my thing. So I just kind of had to get over it. But I definitely like in my mind was still like not feeling very well. And then eventually I got banned on Twitch for 45 days, and that kind of gave me like I was like completely lost on what the fuck I was gonna do with my life at that point, because I was like, shit, I have no friends, and I'm like, you know what I mean? Like, do I just like fuck? What do I do for the next 45 days? Like, I'm gonna be very bored. You know what I mean? So I was like, okay, I'm gonna move to California because I feel like you know, my roommate, you know, Gray, who I've played RuneScape with for all these years, lives there. And I feel like that's a good starting place, a good stepping stone. You know, he lives like right by Los Angeles, so let's just move there and let's just see what happens and how it goes. And you know, if Twitch didn't ban me for 45 days, I would definitely not have moved to California. I feel I definitely would have moved just to a house in Florida.
What did they ban you for?
I leaked a girl's number. So I asked for a girl's number on a stream, doing IRL, and I leaked it. I just forgot to mute the stream, and I just asked for her number, and she gave it to me. And I ended up feeling like really bad because you know, Twitch banned me, and I had to talk with the Twitch staff, and they were just like giving me like so much shit, like that the thing that I did was like worse than like a fucking terrorist or something, right? Like I was the fucking devil, dude. I leaked her number on a live stream. I was the fucking devil. They were grilling me. So, you know, I felt so bad because I didn't think it was that big of a deal at first, but I felt so bad. I called her. I called her number. I'm like, yo, you know, like, let me fucking make this up to you or something. And I met up with her and I gave her $500 as like compensation. And she's just like, you don't have to do this. Like, can I explain the situation? She's like, you don't have to do this. I got like 3 calls, and I'm just like, here, just take the money. Like, it doesn't matter. Just, you know, I was trying to like make things right. But because I felt like I did something so horrible, but yeah.
Mm-hmm. What was it like to be banned that first time? I mean, how you must have been streaming a lot before that, and just to have this free time to yourself, it must have been kind of good, right?
I mean, not really. I mean, I wasn't the first ban. That was the first long ban. I had like a week ban before that, 24-hour ban and stuff like that for like, you know, the N-word getting through text speech or some bullshit. But, you know, for that long time, I just spent my entire time moving across the country, and it was just really boring. Like, even when I first moved to California, my roommate didn't move in with me for the first 3 months or 2 months. So I was still alone. And that's where I met Kyle, which is like my first friend in California. I met him literally like a week after I moved here, I think. And it was like, he just came and knocked on my door because I accidentally leaked my address, like on accident. They just found it. I had my fucking Twitter. I went live on Periscope, and I had my Periscope location on accident. So I leaked that. So Kyle was the first person that ever like came over to my house, and you know, he gave me like gifts and stuff like off stream, and then you know, he was like my first friend here in like California. So.
Oh really? So that's really interesting. What were you nervous moving here with like no plan, no money? I mean, what was that like?
Well, I had money.
Okay. Oh, I guess you had money.
To you know, rent the place out and stuff. But my plan was, I don't know. I was just really tired of living in Florida and with my parents and stuff. I kind of wanted to do my own thing. You know, I didn't want to have to. I just wanted to be able to be independent and live on my own. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna move here. And when I first got there, it was weird. It was like not awkward. I wasn't nervous. I was fucking excited. But it was like really, it was definitely weird because I was just by myself for like the first, you know, week or whatever. So I was just like, it was very just lonely. I don't know. Like, it's boring. Like, I don't know. I guess I'm used to it, so I didn't really mind it. But I just like went out and like walked around and stuff to pass the time.
When did you move from like doing stuff in RuneScape to real life and bringing your life so much into your stream? When did you move from like just doing RuneScape pranks and doing that to like actually bringing your life and like everything outside of the game into your stream?
The first time was when I did Pokemon Go. It was a game that just came out on Twitch, and it was literally the first time any streamer had an excuse for non-gaming content, because non-gaming content was like super rare on Twitch. Because there used to be a rule, if you were not gaming, you get banned for non-gaming content. So it was like, okay, we can play Pokemon Go, so we just have the fucking phone app and we just bullshit play it, like barely play it, just have it up. and then we just walk around and just like fucking talk to people and shit. And it was like a rare thing on Twitch, and it was like that was the start of like IRL shit, and I was like the most basic thing of IRL. So I was like, and I had a lot of fun doing it because, you know, games get boring after a while. So I was like, holy shit, this is really fun. And then after Pokemon Go, there was this thing called social eating. So I'd like walk around, I'd like go outside and like walk around with like a fucking hamburger in my hand, because it was like it was a section where you're supposed to eat food, but I would just like barely eat food and like walk around and like talk to people and shit. So I was like trying to fucking like I don't know, just get around the rules until they eventually came out with an IRL section, which I got banned on the very first day that it came out.
For what?
Leaking the girl's number.
Oh, right. That's when you got banned. So that, I mean, when you're out in the real world, the stakes are a little higher than in a game, right? Did you change how you approached it when you were IRL streaming?
Actually, when I first started IRL streaming, the stakes were definitely a lot safer, because I used to do this thing where song requests and stuff, and for community interaction, and you know, sometimes people would donate, you know, or you know, send in songs that were just like not appropriate for Twitch, like, you know, they're like racist songs or some bullshit. And it like, you know, these people, you know, because they were like trying to like be funny or whatever, but it would like get me banned. So I was like, okay, how do I keep the community interaction without getting banned? It was very difficult. It was like hard. I had to like moderate the fuck out of the songs, and that was like very stressful. But so doing IRL was like a good, you know, step away from like having to be so stressed out and moderating the stuff. So it was good. Although IRL was my ultimate demise in the end on Twitch. So
right. Tell me a little bit about how your community has developed, because you have a kind of notoriously, I guess, toxic community, for lack of a better word. Was that deliberate? Was it a product of just you not caring and letting anything go?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I'd say my community is exactly toxic. I mean, they're definitely funny. I mean, and like creative and stuff. I mean, they definitely say fucked up things, but I mean, that's just the internet, I guess. I mean, I value, like, I preach like free speech in my community, and I think that people should be able to say whatever they fucking want. And if something gets upvoted on Reddit, people should be able to say what they want, as long as it doesn't actively like negatively hurt the community. So I'm not, you know what I mean, like obviously that leads to like some fucked up trolls, but you know, nowadays I'm definitely a lot more, I'm a little bit more strict in like what people can say and what they can't, because you know, obviously, you know, the bigger you get, the more you have to care about that kind of shit. Otherwise, it just negatively affects the community as a whole. And, you know, community management is like a huge thing. And that's something I definitely lacked for the past 2 years. And I definitely should have been a little bit better at it, because, you know, obviously, you know, people going on Instagram and typing the fucking N-word to a black person is not, you know, something that should happen. And that's definitely my fault for, you know, not moderating anything for like the past 2 years.
On the other hand, there's a lot of creativity, and you know, you have this community that creates so many memes and videos and stuff. So that's another thing that's really interesting about that. Is that just organic?
Yeah, it's pretty organic. People make their memes and they be a part of the community. That's kind of what they still do that nowadays. It's like the thing that created this community was people making their own memes and stuff. And you know, obviously there are people that go way out of line with it, but you know, for the most part, I think my community is pretty creative, and like one of the most creative out of all communities. You know what I mean? You have like fucking, I don't know, like other communities that just steal memes from this community, which is like very like, I'm like, we should feel like we're fucking flattered by that shit. Because like even on Twitch, you have like everyone's called a fucking Andy now. Everyone says scuffed. Everyone, like, this is all shit that came from my community. That came from like the RuneScape days and shit. So it's like, you know, it's like I feel like my community has had a huge impact on just the live streaming world in general, in terms of like memes, I guess.
How much money do you make?
Okay, so every month is like different. So when I say the amount of money I make, I'm not trying to be like arrogant or like a dickhead or something. It's just, you know, people are curious, so I'm like, I'm okay, like I'm open about shit. I don't really care. So I make, every month is different. Right now, it's like, on average, it's like 20K a month, which is like, you know, quite good. But it wasn't always like that. The 20K a month thing didn't, so that's like average right now anyways. That's not like that wasn't typical like a year ago. This is like pretty recent. So right before I got banned off Twitch, I think my average was like 10K a month. So I'm actively making more money now than I was on Twitch. for, you know, different reasons. You know, obviously, like the people donate super chat way more and just donate more in general. I can have text to speech on. I don't have to moderate it. Twitch, I didn't have text to speech because people would say the N word. I get banned for that. I get a little bit more ad revenue on YouTube, and you know, plus my sponsor money that, you know, people who sponsor in the fucking chat there, and that's $5 a month from each person. So, you know, I do make a little bit more. Although I've been taking some sponsors, and recently I've never really taken that many sponsors. I've taken like little like mobile game sponsors here and there, but I've never really been like that kind of person to take sponsors. But like nowadays I'm like, I feel like it's just dumb for me not to take a sponsor if it doesn't negatively impact the stream, because I just like losing out on money. And like as I grow older, I just realize that money is like a big part of the world, and it'd be dumb for me not, like 10 years from now I'd feel like I'd hate myself if I didn't take any sponsors, because I'm trying to think about my future here. So I can't give you specifics on like how much I make with my current sponsors, because that's against like contracts, but I can tell you like some past stuff. So I played a mobile game for 4 hours and I made 25,000. And then I played Power Rangers I played like a mobile Power Rangers game for like, I don't know, like fucking 2 days, and I think that was like 8,000. I'm trying to think what else. I unboxed this chair on stream and it was 2,500. And I think those are all the sponsors that I've had in the past that I currently am not in contract in, but I can tell you.
What everybody, a lot of people are saying, you know, sell out, some anti-Semitic stuff. What's the problem? Yeah, what's the problem with taking a sponsor? It's like you're selling out. You're like not trusting the community enough.
I mean, so I never wanted to be like a sellout. That's why I never took sponsors. But after living by myself, away from my parents for the past year, I've definitely matured a lot more, and I realized that, first of all, the amount of money I've spent the past year just living by myself has blown my mind. And it's just, I'm definitely like a little bit more mature than I was when I lived with my parents. So I realized that money is very much important in life, and it would be stupid for me not to take a sponsor that doesn't negatively impact the stream. Like there are sponsors where I just open something on stream, like a box, and you know, that's like fucking a few thousand or something, or some bullshit. Like there's no reason for me not to do that. Like sure, people can call me a sellout or something, but you know, I mean, if it secures the future of my life, then I don't see the issue.
Yeah. What percentage of your viewers do you think love you, and what percentage hate you? Because it seems like it's a lot on both sides.
I mean, I don't think anyone actively hates me. I mean, okay, I'll take that away. There are people that definitely fucking hate me. So there are some people that just fucking hate my guts because, I mean, I have no idea why, just whatever they can come up with. But I think for the most part, viewers don't actually hate me. They just kind of like, they're like whipping me. They're like kind of like telling me to like stay in place, stay in line, like don't be late, shit like that. And they're just like being hard on me. I don't think they hate me. You know what I mean?
They hold you to a high standard.
I mean, they hold me to a high standard, I guess. They just want me to do well, so they are hard on me, like a parent or something. But and then there's the other side of the people who actually fucking hate me, and those are the people I ban off my Reddit and off my community. These are people that dox. These people that actively talk like create hate threads with fake information. That's why I added a new rule to my Reddit: no misinformation, like weeks ago, because there were people who were making literally fake threads that would get highly upvoted because they would brigade that shit through their Discord, and then people would just believe this shit, and it's just like nonsense hate that doesn't need to be there. So like those are the people that actually fucking hate me, that actively make a thread and then report me to Reddit. I saw somebody, he made a thread and then he reported me to a Reddit admin because I didn't remove his thread. And he says, this guy did not remove this thread talking about, you know, some bullshit. Those are the people that fucking hate me. And then when you remove the thread, they call you Nazi mod. And, you know, that shit I didn't never want to be like a Nazi mod when I was, you know, a few months back. But I realize now community management's like a huge big deal in like live streaming. Otherwise, you're going to have people like this. And I had to get rid of those people because obviously in the end, they're going to win because negativity outweighs positivity like tenfold.
So the number one question I've gotten from your viewers is what are you like off stream versus in real life?
So I think I'm exactly the same person off stream and on stream, but off stream I'm definitely a lot more relaxed, like laid back. I don't really talk off stream like at all. I'm like very to myself because it's just like it's like what I'm used to doing, like growing up and shit. It's just like I'm just very like I'm very like thought oriented. I just like think to myself a lot, so I don't really talk that much. But on stream, it's, you know, obviously I have to talk and like, you know, it's something I do, you know, and be entertaining. But off stream, I'm definitely a lot more laid back.
Yeah, I came into this thinking that like off stream you were going to be your real self, but on stream you were going to be playing a character or something. I think you've said at some points that, you know, Ice Poseidon is kind of a character, but it also seems like, you know, I was talking to Steve Jobs and he was saying, no, you know, if you ask him a question on stream, he'll be more honest with you than off stream. What do you think about that?
I mean, I don't know if I'd say I'm exactly a character on stream, but I'm definitely like I just don't have a filter on stream. So off stream, I'll have a filter because there's no reason for me to not have a filter. Like, might as well have people not fucking hate me. But on stream, there's a reason for me to not have a filter, aka entertainment. So I don't give a fuck if people hate me. You know, for me saying shit that's like, I don't know, not politically correct. Like, it doesn't fucking matter to me. Like, fuck those people that think that that entertainers need to be politically correct at all times of the day.
So you don't care if somebody watches your stream and you're like, this guy's like an idiot, like asshole, and then you're in real life, you're kind of like a chill dude who's just trying to make people laugh.
I mean, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I kind of like, I don't like, somebody can call me an asshole on like fucking Reddit or like some bullshit or like some stupid whatever, dude. Like, I've had people call me like fucking racist or some bullshit because I'll say a black joke on stream. Like, I don't think I'm racist. I just think black jokes are funny. Like, it's like, I'm just being honest, you know what I mean? Like, it's like a joke, and if people don't understand what a joke is, then they probably shouldn't watch my stream. That's obviously for mature audiences only, aka mature as the key word there, because mature people understand jokes and immature people don't.
So tell me about the quote that you keep in your wallet. Do you have the card here? Can you show it to me?
Yeah. It's downstairs.
Oh, okay.
So I have this like this little card in my wallet that I made that that like just tells me how to be happy, because I was like going through depression like a few months ago, and then I took some Molly, and you know what Molly is. Okay, so like, I don't advocate drugs, by the way, but I just was like, somebody gave me this this drug and said it was gonna like really help you if you're like depressed. Like, I just give it a try. I'm like, okay, so I tried it, and it temporarily put me in like a really happy mindset, and I was able to pull myself away from this like negative mindset for the first time like months, and like actually think about stuff from a different perspective. And that 100% got me out of my depression, because I was like looking at it from like an outside perspective. I'm like, why am I depressed? I'm not depressed right now, so why the fuck do I get depressed? Why was I depressed this whole time if I'm not depressed right now? Like, obviously depression is like a very like it's like a very easy thing to beat if you just be happy. I don't know, like, if you're not like, I was just like embarrassed to be happy before, but like now I'm like not embarrassed, and I just wake up every morning and I'm just like, I'm just gonna be happy. Like, I don't know, it's hard to explain.
But tell me about the quote exactly, because it's kind of gets at this issue of, right, like, how do you separate yourself from the stream? How do you not let this shit on the screen get you down?
Okay, so I'm trying to find it here. Somebody donated it. They said, don't let the stream project onto myself. Project myself onto the stream. So obviously that was like something that I came up with when I was high on the Molly, and I was like, okay, why do I get depression? Okay, so when I turn on the stream, I usually I'm feeding off like a lot of negativity in chat. Like, people would be negative in chat, and I feed off that. I'm like, fuck, and that's making me that has now made me a negative person, because I read this and I'm letting these negative people in chat room project their emotions onto me, and I'm like then projecting it back. But that's not the case. I have to fucking project what I feel onto the stream instead. So, because I'm the streamer, I'm the one who controls the fucking stream, so I should project my emotions onto the stream and it not be the other way around. Because if I project positivity and like having a good time, then everyone in the chat will have a good time and not be negative. And that's kind of like what the conclusion I came with. And then the other one was like, don't be embarrassed to be happy, because I was always embarrassed to be happy. I don't know why. I just didn't want to, I just felt like I couldn't be happy. But I realized that that's retarded to think now.
Do you like streaming?
Yeah. So I think streaming is awesome. So right now, chat, where the stream doesn't know it, but there's like So there's like 5 or 6 different people in my living room right now that I barely know, and I think that's like really cool. So I enjoy streaming because I enjoy meeting new people. I think it's like really interesting. But yeah, I enjoy live streaming. Not like obviously not just for the money aspect. Like obviously that's good money, so it's like a good motivator there. But it's more than just that. It's like obviously has to do with like I have a bunch of people in my living room right now. Like that's really interesting to me. I'm gonna go down and like talk to these people. It's like very fucking interesting to me. It keeps life interesting. So instead of like the same thing every day, which is like what I was used to growing up, like same thing every day, RuneScape 20 hours a day, every fucking day. It's like now every day is like a fucking different story. Every day is like some different things, you know, that's with it, and it's just very interesting, and it like entertains me even off stream. Like last night, I had some guy come over at like 11 p.m. and I was like a little bit drunk, so I didn't want to answer the door because I was like not in the right mindset. But it was interesting, you know what I mean? I was like, holy shit, what the, you know? I wonder who that is, you know? Fucking, it's in. I don't know. It just entertains me.
Why do you? Yeah, I think one of the unique things about you is that you really open up your life to people. You know, a lot of streamers will turn off the camera and they disappear basically. Why do you do that?
Well, I mean, I could do that, but I just feel like that's boring. Like that's like, why not make life a little bit more interesting, right? I mean, when I'm fucking done with streaming, like, you know, whatever, 5-10 years from now, and I'm fucking 35, like my life will be boring when I'm 35, so might as well have fun now, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot to deal with, though. I don't think even, you know, me being on the stream and getting all these memes, it's really distracting and kind of like stressful, you know? Like, yeah. Cool. What did the Reddit? Let's. You want to take a look at the Reddit questions?
Oh, really?
No, real. Why are they? I bet they have some good ones.
All right, so I mean, if that's yeah, let's take a look at the Reddit questions then. So just all the most upvoted questions, I guess. Just go with that.
How can a 23-year-old man be late to his job every day?
So, so obviously, I'm late every day when I stream. Usually for no good reason at all. But sometimes, you know, I just get like nervous. If I have like a big event plan, like when I had the pickup truck with the water in the back, I was like nervous. I was like, have like a little bit of OCD. I'm like trying to make sure everything is like ready to go. So when we turn on the stream, we don't have to do fucking like errands and shit and like make shit ready on stream. I just want to turn on the stream and just be ready to go. Like today, I was late today, and you know, I mean, I could have easily not been late. I'd rather turn on the stream and have like content like off the bat as opposed to turn on the stream and like be boring for the first 30 minutes of no content. Like driving in a car, driving to the spot, or like if we like, you know, I want like we got to UCLA at like 3:30, and I was like, okay, we're the spot that the Uber dropped us off at is not a good place to. This is like no content here, so let's not turn on the stream until I find a place that has like a lot of people and like so I could turn on the stream and like it's just immediately content because I get like nervous if I'm like gonna turn on the stream and it's gonna be like a bad stream or something. But then there's the other half of the time where I'm just a lazy fuck. I just wake up like 20 minutes before my stream, and I'm like, all right, I'll go live in like 30 minutes because I just woke up.
Yeah. I mean, I saw that the other day. It's like you just want to chill, I guess. Everybody's late for something, but not everybody's got thousands of people waiting for them.
Yeah, I mean, you're right.
Why did you never do a charity stream for Kovacs 666's funeral? And who is that?
Okay, so Kovacs 666 was like a viewer who made like a lot of meme stuff back in the day. And he, you know, committed suicide when he was, you know, like I think like a year back or whatever. And I just, you know, I mean, I never did a charity stream for him just because I mean, there's really no reason, I guess. I just haven't done one. I mean, I should do a charity stream, but I mean, I just have like my own things to worry about. It's just never, you know, it just hasn't come up. I don't know.
Do you feel bad about that?
I mean, I feel bad, but I mean, I have my own stuff that I, you know, have to do and worry about. You know what I mean? Like it's just like I could do one. I mean, I've done charity streams before. I did one for like my old boss's dog or whatever, and I mean, now there was like some talk of like the money being refunded now. I looked through my PayPal and I never saw that money. I don't know where the fuck that money went. I don't know where that money went, but it was like we donated it through Facebook, and then like I guess he closed down the fucking the charity thing, and I literally never saw that money again. I have no idea where that money went, but yeah, I mean, there's really no reason. Just I don't know, just haven't done one.
Why does Ice fuck his fans' girlfriends?
I mean, she told me she was single, so I mean that's not really my fault at that point. So she said she broke up with her boyfriend because I knew she had a boyfriend, but she said she broke up with him. So I mean, you can't really blame that one on me.
That's what Cal there says. He's just no, even though the day before he asked everyone if they would fuck a girl with a boyfriend.
Okay, my mentality is that if a girl cheats on her boyfriend, then it's not the guy's fault who fucked the girl, who wasn't the boyfriend. It was the the girl's or even the boyfriend's fault. So the boyfriend's fault for not giving her that good dick, like not good enough dick at least, and so she had to cheat, or the girl's fault for just being a little slut. But I would never blame it on the actual guy himself who fucked the girl, because that's he's like, if he doesn't know the guy, it's not really his problem. But I personally, especially if it's a fan, would not fuck his girlfriend. Like the girl told me she was single, so that's like a completely other thing.
Okay, let's go to the next one. What is your total net worth?
So I don't actually know, because I don't know how much everything's like. This would be like what everything is worth. So in my bank account right now, I have $12,000. I have two bank accounts, one with 5 cents and one with $12,000. And then I have some money that I'm owed. So add or I have money for this place. So the deposit for this place, 11,000. So 12,000 plus another 11,000. That's 23,000 dollars. And then we have some money that I'm owed from like sponsors and stuff. Add another few thousand on top of that. And then everything I own here. And I have like a Rolex. So I mean, I don't know. Altogether, I'm probably worth like, I don't know, not much, like 50K or some bullshit.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, I put a lot of money like back into like my stream and stuff, like, and like pay rent and stuff. Like I don't know. Like I'm not very like I'd like to save my money, but I'm not. I definitely have spent my money a lot on the stream. Like people don't understand how expensive live streaming actually is when you don't just play video games on your live stream. So if I play video games, so when I play Fortnite, for example, I'll make like $1,000 for the day. And, that's cool because donations pop up on the screen. When I do IRL, I'm not as, what's it called? Engaged with the donation. So I make a little bit less, make like 500, 600. And, a lot of times that money goes back into the stream. You know what I mean? Like 400 of that will go back into the stream and I'll make like $200 profit that day or some bullshit. Like that's kind of like how I think. Like I bought the alcohol a few days ago or last Friday, and, I spent 600 on that, but I probably made 800 in that day in total. So this guy's, I mean, people do have a good point. 20K a month, like a 50K net worth. So yes, I make 20K a month. That's not 20K profit. That's 20K revenue. So I guess I'll break it down. So I have like my rent, which is like 4,600, which I paid last month. Boom. I paid Jacob, his fucking salary. So there's that. I pay my editor his salary. So there's that. And then everything else for the stream. Like this shit is like, shit's expensive. Like, you know what I mean? So I'm not like making profit 20K a month. It's just my revenue. So it's pretty reasonable. Although that's why I'm taking more sponsors and stuff, because it's, I'm I should have more than just like 50K worth of everything. Like at this point in my life, since I've been a streamer for 2 years and I've been making, a pretty fair amount of money. So I'm definitely, I look at my streamer friends and they're all rich as fuck. Like they're all like just completely loaded for like the rest of their fucking life. And I'm over here, like if I were to stop streaming, I wouldn't really get too far. So it's like, all right, let me take some sponsors because I need to think about my future. Like this is not good.
So I just got, somebody messaged me a question, a thread on Reddit, who said, I've been watching for a long time and Ice is downplaying a lot of shit he's told the reporter. I distinctly remember how he didn't give a fuck about leaking the girl's number and baiting the racist song requests. Ha ha ha. Ice is such a good fucking liar. Holy shit, lol.
Okay, first of all, I did not leak the girl's number on purpose because I knew that would result in a ban. So why the fuck would I do that? And did I bait the racist song requests when I was a RuneScape streamer? Now, I wouldn't say that I baited. I wouldn't say that I baited the racist song request, but I will say that the racist song request made me a fuckload of money. So I didn't bait the shit, but did I have like a suspicion that a song was about to be racist? I mean, I'm not stupid. I'm not fucking stupid. Like, I have a suspicion, but I don't want a song to be racist because clearly that would get me in trouble. But hey, you know what I mean? Fucking made bank money off that shit.
Right. So, I mean, you weren't like dissuading them.
No. No, so I wasn't like, yo, guys, let's donate, you know, fucking racist song request, fucking hell yeah. I'm not like that, but I was like, somebody who sent me $5 and be like, yo, play my song, and this shit has 1 view on it. I'm like, all right, let's pray to God it's not racist, but if it is, let's pretend nothing happened.
Right. Okay.
But that was 2 years ago.
All right.
I've definitely, I don't need to do shit like that anymore for like money and shit. So it's not like it's a little bit different nowadays than it was 2 years ago.
What? I guess I'm curious, like, why do people find this like racist humor so funny? You say it's a joke, right? That you're not actually racist, or that the users aren't. Why is this such a huge thing, both in your community, not just your community, but like all gamer kind of internet culture stuff?
So I wouldn't say that my community is racist. Like I said, I mean, I don't know, define racist, I guess. I mean, if I say a black joke, does that make me racist? Like, I don't know. Like, that's subjective, I guess. But, I think people think like racism is funny because it's like super like, what's it called? Like, it's like very, what's the fucking word? People, like, it's not normal. Like, in the real world, in real life, like, people are not going around saying fucking like black jokes and shit. It's like very like abnormal to do. So so people on the internet, they're like, oh my god, fucking black person and chicken. It's like supposed to be like edgy and like funny and shit because it's like not normal. And then obviously people get pissed off by it, and that's the point. For if I'm a pleb on the internet, what is something really fun to do? Oh, let me go piss off people by saying a black joke on the internet because that's going to be funny to see their reaction. Now, is that the reason why I may say a black joke on stream? No, I personally think black jokes are funny. I think Indian jokes are funny. Like, I like edgy shit, like fucking humor. Do you know Louis C.K.?
Yeah. Louis
C.K. is a great comedian. And he says the N-word, and he says, like, edgy shit, and I think he's a great comedian. I like comedian. Like, if you're going to be politically correct, I don't think you're, like, I don't know. I don't think, if you're an entertainer, I just don't feel like you need to be politically correct. I feel like that goes against the entire, like, I don't know, like, if you're, like, you can be entertaining and politically correct at the same time, but that's just not the kind of entertainer that I am. It's not the kind of humor that I have. Everyone likes different humor. And if people want to like shit talk me and be like, oh, you know, this guy shouldn't, you know, he's not politically correct, whatever. Like, hey, you're just, you know, if you don't like that kind of humor, that's fine. But don't sit here and like try to push your agenda onto me and everyone else who likes that kind of humor.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Let's see what else you got here. Oh, Ice, are you sponsored by Fortnite? It says to look me in the eyes.
No, I'm not sponsored by Fortnite, and Fortnite would never sponsor a streamer that is primarily non-gaming related. That just doesn't make any sense.
Have you ever been tempted to like tone down your act a little more to make it easier on yourself? Because it seems like not only are you scaring away sponsors, but you're getting banned. You know, you have to worry about all swatting. You have to worry about, you know, people attacking anybody who's on your stream. It seems like it would be easier for you to just like be a little chiller and maybe not lose your edge, right?
Well, I feel like people that, so I don't feel like me being edgy has anything to do with like people swatting me or like saying shit on Instagram to other people. I feel like that comes from my poor community management that I've had over the past few years. I don't, like, if I want to be edgy, there's plenty of like people, entertainers on the internet that are like more edgy. Like iDubbbz, for example, is like a pretty edgy person, like relatively speaking, to like fucking Jake Paul, I guess. But you know, and his fan base doesn't like swat him and shit. And by the way, my fan base doesn't swat me. It was one guy, and he's been dealt with completely. Like, he's arrested and shit. So, have I ever wanted to, hold back on my edgy humor? I mean, I definitely have thought about, like, wonder what would happen if I was a little bit less edgy in my humor. And then I was just like, oh, that would make the job no fun. If I had to fucking censor myself, that would make me just like everyone else, I guess. I mean, I don't really think the things that I say are bad in general. Like, I really don't. Like, I'm not saying the N-word left and right. I'm not doing shit like that. Like, there are definitely comedians out there that are way worse than me who, are millionaires who have like TV shows and things like that.
What are you, so you're talking about, the reason why your community got kind of a little out of control was the lack of community management. What are you doing to change that? How does that work?
Well, I have, I'm a little bit more coordinated with my mods now. We actively like remove posts on Reddit that are just fucking cancer. We actively like, ban people in the chat that are just fucking cancer. Like, we just, before the past 2 years, I never banned anyone. We never moderated anything. We didn't do anything. We literally just let people go rampant. And that was like a mistake on my part because it's like very difficult to like fix that. And, like I said, do I want people, like every black person that comes on stream, do I want their fucking Instagram to be filled with the N-word? No, I don't fucking want that. But, obviously that's my fault for letting people be rampant for the past 2 years. And I'm like actively trying to fix that, but shit takes time. It's not an overnight thing. So it's like, and it's gotten a hell of a lot better. People more, more so say CX now as opposed to like some N-word or like some bullshit. Like, people have definitely gone a lot better because I'm actively like getting rid of like the really cancer fucking people.
Okay, update on Twitch appeal.
So update on Twitch appeal. So I mean, I did get information back from Twitch. It's not really something I can answer at this point in time, but just hope for the best in the future, everyone, and that's all I really have to say, I guess. Just maybe one day, Twitch will finally take that ban fucking thing off the cloud of my head, and I will be no longer some sort of like plague around my friends that stream on that site. So that's the thing. So me being banned on Twitch, it like hurts me a lot. It hurts me with sponsors, and it obviously makes it very awkward to hang out with my friends that are streamers that want to stream at the same time as hanging out with me. So mainly the sponsor thing though is like what I just want to like not be banned just so I don't have to worry about sponsors. Because like if you tell a sponsor like, why are you streaming on YouTube and not Twitch, or like something, if they just come up like, oh, how'd you get streaming on YouTube, like why'd you pick to stream on YouTube, or like some bullshit, and, like, or eventually they just find out by researching me that I'm banned on Twitch. Like, clearly they just don't want to associate with me at that point. And some sponsors have just like not wanted to work with me because of that. Now I've changed as a person. So like I'm a completely different person than I was a year ago when I got banned. A year ago, I will agree, I was a fucking immature, very like immature person. I was like just very like non-caring. I'd just be open about, oh, I'm at this fucking gate number at the airport. Very like immature thing to do. But I've matured a lot over the year, dealing with a lot of the ups and downs of my stream. A lot of like like on Twitch, I was like a super highest point ever I was on that website, and then boom, it all came crashing down. I had a lot of thinking to come and to do, and I had to rebuild myself on YouTube, and it worked. And then I had like a lot of ups and downs, and I've just matured a lot over time. So I just really wish they would take that ban thing off like my fucking brand, like off my head, because I'm definitely just not the same person I was a year ago. And also I don't really want to stream IRL on their website, so I don't know.
I'm curious, what else has changed? How have you matured? What have you learned since then?
Well, there's this thing that I feel like a lot of streamers go through. So when you're first hitting like 10K plus viewers, 20K viewers every stream, you get this like ego. Okay, everyone gets it. Like, I've seen people get it. Like, everyone fucking gets it, because you feel like you're on top of the world at this point, and you just feel very like very uncaring and very just like, oh, like a fucking free bird. And you don't feel like anything in the world, nothing can ruin this fucking moment that you have. And then it's like, you know, and then, you know, when something does happen and ruin this moment, it just really makes you think, and you're like, oh fuck, yeah, that's right. Brings you back down to reality. And then also, like, I've gone through like a few months, like, I don't know, for like 2 months here on YouTube, I was getting like, you know, 2K viewers, 3K viewers, November, December. And that was because my community was just, you know, boycotting against my girlfriend and all this stuff. And, you know, that really put some things into perspective. You know, I just don't look at like things the same way that I did a year ago. So a year ago, 20K viewers, I'm on top of the fucking world. But nowadays, 20K viewers, it's like, okay, you know, this is a good stream. That's how I feel. And I'm not like throwing people on. I used to throw a lot of people under the bus, a lot of my friends and stuff for like content. I don't do that anymore. I don't throw anybody under the bus. I understand live streaming a lot more. Okay, because my channel blew up like very quickly on Twitch, so I just felt like reality just wasn't there for me. But like reality is definitely like there now. So it's like, it's, you know, it just I just have a lot more experience now with streaming than I did.
Right. That's interesting. What was it like when, you know, that first night when you were banned forever? I imagine you must have thought like, I'm done, right?
Well, no. So I was like banned, and the first thing obviously the first thing I did was go talk to the Twitch staff, since they were at DreamHack. That's where I got banned. I was going to stream at DreamHack, and then I went to go talk to them, and I was just like, it was like very awkward, and obviously they just told me this like perm ban or whatever, and I was like, fuck, okay. So I go back to my hotel room, I'm just like thinking, I'm like, what do I do here? So I can either just not stream, and I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna do with my life. I mean, obviously I go back to school and get a job or whatever, but I'm like, okay. Or I can try to stream on YouTube and rebuild myself, and that's gonna be some hard fucking work. This is like work that so at the point I got banned on Twitch, I was not working hard. It was very easy. You just go live and get a fucking 10K viewers. So fucking easy. And on YouTube, it's like, okay, now I have to work hard again. And that really put some things in the perspective. And I, you know, I just said, fuck it, I'm going to try and work hard. Let's do this. And I did it. And, you know, it helped me mature a lot, just to have to rebuild your brand like that. Yeah. Haley did say, my girlfriend at the time, she said I was suicidal. Yeah, I was really sad. I told her, I was like, oh shit, I should probably kill myself. But then I was just very quickly got out of that mindset. That was like very irrelevant thing. But I was like very sad when I got banned, obviously. But I was just like, you know what? I'm not that kind of person. If like if it has to do with like the future of my life, it's like when I have to work hard about something, I just fucking do it. I don't get sad. There's other streamers like Gross Score, they get fucking banned, they get sad, they take a month off. I don't do that shit. I'm like, if I take a month off, I'm gonna fuck myself.
I'm curious, like, also, I think gamers outside of, you know, this world have kind of a bad reputation. You know, there's always people who say, oh, you know, these gamers are, you know, racist, they don't care, they're Trump supporters. Like, what do you make about that stereotype, I guess, of gamers?
Okay, I don't think there's a stereotype that gamers are racist. I mean, obviously, when you're on the internet and everybody's anonymous, you know, people are just going to say whatever the fuck they want. I mean, I don't see what that has to do with supporting Trump. I mean, I guess it's just like a stereotype, you said?
Yeah, you know, like, did you follow Gamergate at all? Really? You know what Gamergate is? Really? That's actually interesting. I bet chat knows what Gamergate is. It was this huge, you really don't know? It was this huge kind of uproar about, you know, where gamers thought that SJWs were trying to censor games and, you know, make them not as unpolitically correct, and kind of there was a conspiracy between journalists and developers to, you know, turn games into this kind of like PC social justice thing. There was a lot of like people harassing people, and there was, you know, a lot of blowback, and certain people who became big during Gamergate then became big Trump supporters.
Okay, stop.
Look at this, full of so you do have a lot of Trump supporter, yeah. I
mean, I think it's a meme because, like, now that you said that, but okay, so I'll say.
Are getting really mad in there.
Okay, so I mean, personally, I voted for Trump because I think I mean, I just like his attitude. I just like, he's kind of like, He's like a very good attitude. He just kind of says whatever the fuck he wants, and I just kind of like that. I think it's funny. So I mean, I'm not really a political person, so I'm not voting for any good reason. I just thought he was funny, that's why I voted for him. But I don't think games should be politically correct. I mean, if you make a game politically, like, you shouldn't. That just shouldn't matter. Like, if you make a game with like this shit in mind, it's gonna be a worse game than what it should have been. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying political correctness is bad. It's just, if you're a game developer, that's not really your jurisdiction. You're not a fucking politician, so why are you following politics? Like, I just feel like that's something that should not be grouped into entertainment. Political correctness should stay with politics and like leaders and shit like that. CEOs, shit like that. You shouldn't have to be politically correct if you're an entertainer or a game developer.
Okay. What do you think is the biggest misconception about you and your community?
Oh, I mean, people seem to think that my community is full of toxic, racist, women-hating people, but who are very emotional, bipolar, and 14 years old. I'm going to disagree with all that. Like I said, I think my community likes to be edgy, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Like, I mean, now, if there's people in chat saying the N-word and, like, being very, like, just fucked up, I ban those people. But I'm not going to ban somebody for being a little bit edgy. I just think that's, you know, it's part of the internet, and I don't want to take that away from the people.
Can you tell me about like the actual act of streaming and finding the best content when you're actually filming? Like, what is your strategy? How do you do that?
So when I first started doing IRL shit, it was like the content was just go around and talk to people. It was like good enough. But like as IRL content starts to get more and more like oversaturated, you have to constantly think of like new things to do. But yeah, so as IRL gets more and more saturated, you got to like change it up. And like nowadays I try to add a little bit more lore and like a lot more layers to my content. So, and like, you know, have like people involved, have like objectives, not just go out and talk to people. I think that's not gonna cut it anymore. So you have to continually change it up and continually make things more layered and in depth.
What has been your strategy for that? I think a lot of it is like lore, bringing in more people. How do you
I mean, like I said, being very open, letting people come in my house and shit, like just being very open with people, I think is like a good step. Because like, I mean, for one, Howard Stern used to do this way back in the day. He used to let people like into his fucking studio and just talk to, and that's how you meet like the weirdest fucks, because these weird fucks have nothing else to do. So, and I just think it just makes it more interesting, because like normal people wouldn't just allow this to happen, people going in and out of their house. So if I allow it to happen, I think it's like okay, like it's like entertaining.
And in general, like, what is content? It seems to have a different meaning among streamers than most other people.
So when I got banned on Twitch, when the word content comes into play, people I got a lot of flack thrown at me, because people were like, okay, he'll do anything for content. He'll fucking do anything for content. But that's not true. It obviously has like a bad, like a bad behavior to it. Okay, that has like a bad like thing to it, because obviously I'm not just I don't do anything for content. I don't break the law for content, or like I'm not really, like I'm not gonna I don't do anything I'd get arrested for content. I do, you know, I'm not actively like going out and like harassing people for content. If I talk to somebody, but if they tell me to fuck off, I'll fuck off. Like I'm not doing, and that's why people hated me at first when I got banned on Twitch. You know, the people that were not on my side, they were like, yeah, he'll do anything for content, he'll harass people and break the law and shit. But that's just not true. Those people just are retarded. And you have people that, you know, like later on, like fucking Hampton Brandon, that actually do break the law and shit. And there's like obviously a difference between me and him. And, you know, other people who IRL stream and go out and like just straight up harass people and stuff. Like, that's not what I do. That's not what my brand's about. And that's not what IRL streaming should be all about. And that's why I distance myself from people like that. Because I don't want people to mistake myself for people like that.
You do have limits, I guess. You know, it might seem on your stream that you'll just do anything. You're kind of out there.
Yeah, so if people think that I'm like out there and I'll do anything, that just makes me a good entertainer. Will I actually do anything? That's not the fucking truth at all. I'm actively thinking about how this is going to impact me and my stream, and I'm like balancing shit in my head as it goes on. Like if I'm gonna go in a car with somebody, I'm like trying to read that person. If if I think this person's gonna murder me, I'm not gonna get in the car with him for content, because like that's not content. Getting murdered is not content. Getting robbed and stabbed is not content. If I'm reading somebody and I think he's like a nice guy, I'll get in his car because I know he's not gonna fucking hurt me. But people seem to think like, oh, who'll get in the car with anybody? Oh, he will die for content. But that's just not true. I'm like reading people like as it happens, and like, but that's what these people don't understand, because these people that say shit like that probably don't ever leave their fucking house.
Mm-hmm. So what is in your, according to your brand, according to your perspective, what's good content?
Good content is just shit that is just very abnormal that you just typically wouldn't fucking see or do yourself, that people might find interesting. So like, the definition of something that's funny is something that is unexpected. That's what makes things funny. Like a joke funny, it's like unexpected, the answer. So it's like the same thing. I'm trying to find content that's like unexpected and like shit that's just really fucking random, because that's literally the definition of comedy and what makes something funny.
In addition to like looking at you for kind of entertainment and entertaining content, seems like a lot of your viewers are kind of like living vicariously through you, or have this kind of deeper connection. What's that like, and is that a lot of pressure on you?
Yeah, I mean, so that's like definitely part of my brand. People just like kind of being very involved, the viewers being very involved in my life, and like changing it, like just like very like every day, just like actively they're changing my life and being a part of it. I think that's okay. It's definitely stressful. Like for example, like I broke up with my girlfriend, like that I really liked. But I didn't just do it for the stream, because I stuck with it for 6 months even through all the hate, because I really liked her and I felt like that was more important. But I realized just the stress of like having to battle this like community that I've created, like it's just not worth it. Like if I'm a stepdad and I marry this new wife with my daughter, and my daughter hates my stepwife, and my stepwife hates my daughter, like I'll try to live with that for a little bit. But eventually the stress is going to get too much, and it's just easier to just cut it off completely and, not have to deal with that. But yeah, it's like part of my brand. I'm like, okay with that, I guess. I mean,
you're okay with that. I mean, you talk a lot with chat when you're walking around, and like in your stream, as if it's a friend or something. Do you see them as like a friend, a family member? What's your relationship?
I mean, I guess if I didn't think of my viewers as my friends, I wouldn't let them in my house and they come at 11 o'clock at night, or just have like 6 people sitting in my living room right now that I barely know, but like they're viewers. So it's like, I let them in. So I like to think of like my stream as like a social thing. It's like I like to think of it as like a gay Tinder, but we're not having sex. It's like people come over and I'll just let them in. We talk and shit. So although I do need my private time, so I do like, so sometimes I tell people to leave. They come knock on my door late at night, and then I'll talk to them for an hour, and then I'll be like, all right, it's time to leave. And most of the time people go and it's like, yo, thanks for having me. But then, sometimes you have the people that really don't want to leave. They're like, oh, you're kicking me out? Like, I thought we were friends. And those are the kind of people those are the type of people I just literally can't stand. Because I need my private life too. Like, I don't really have much of a private life because people come over to my house all the time, but I definitely need my own alone time, I guess I should say, because I'm kind of like a thinker, you know what I mean? Like, that's how I grew up. Like, I need my fucking time to think and be alone, and like, that's how I think of new ideas and shit. If I'm constantly around other people, I'm getting, everyone likes to give me advice and shit, and tells me like things that they like, and I just get influenced by that, and it's gonna just ruin me as a person, and I don't like that.
How do you ensure that you have alone time? I mean, when so many people coming in.
Well, like I said, I'll talk to somebody who comes to my house for like a little bit, and then I tell them to leave, and that's my alone time. And sometimes people don't respect that, and they want to stay for longer, and I've had that, and it's been really fucking awkward, because then they go on Reddit or some bullshit afterward, and they'll be like, just like, oh, he's an asshole in real life or something. And it's not fair, because I let somebody in my house at like fucking late at night. It's happened before. I let some dude in my house late as fuck at night, and then I told him to leave after like an hour, and he went on fucking Reddit and like tried to talk bullshit to me, saying I'm an asshole in real life. But that's just not fair, because like it's like, that's just like a shitty person. Like, you have to be a shitty fucking person to do some bullshit like that and not respect my alone time.
Another question I got was to ask you about the founding of the Purple Army and the symbolism behind CX.
So the Purple Army started from RuneScape, because when you go in a clan chat, people are purple dots, so Purple Army. And that's where that started, and that was like, you know, pretty self-explanatory. CX was something that one of my moderators used to spam when they troll somebody. So it's like a troll face. CX is like literally it's like a fucking text version of like a troll face. That's the whole point of it. So, and that's like, I think that fits my brand pretty well. It's kind of why I went with it, because I'm a fucking troll and all my viewers are fucking trolls. And that's kind of the whole point of that, you know.
So you would describe yourself as a troll?
Yeah, I definitely would. And when, you know, when something trolly fucking happens, you know, people say CX, and it's like on some other people's stream or my stream or whatever, and it's like, you know, I'm definitely a troll myself.
What is trolling to you? Is it just like doing anything to get attention? Is there something else behind it?
Yeah, I'm literally just getting reaction from people, just like saying shit that's like maybe fucked up, but it's like it's not like fucked up, but it's just like something that the other person clearly like may not agree with or may not want to hear, and it's like funny, you know what I mean? Get a reaction from them. It's like fucking hilarious. What do the notes say?
It's literally just quotes that you're saying. You know, I don't have time to be writing anything else. It's just interesting things that he's been saying. But yeah, you won't be able to read it, but not that interesting.
Now you've been baited. They're gonna meme the fuck out of that, and it's probably gonna be on Reddit after this, like some people like making their own notes in your notepad through Photoshop, and like, you know how that goes. Like Trump is #1 in your fucking notepad or something. Like they're gonna meme that now.
This is all my shit that I'm exposing. This is all my, you know, yeah, it's gonna be all over.
This guy in the chat has a good point though. He says, "You're a troll." Me, I'm a troll, and I attract trolls like the swatter. Now,
yeah,
I disagree with that. I mean, obviously, I attract those kinds of people, but that doesn't mean I can't ban those people as well from my community. Like, sure, I attract trolls. I like to have a trolly community. It's funny, but I'm not actively trying to attract pieces of shit like people who swat. They're like actually pieces of shit, and those are not the people that I want, and those are the people I ban in my community. And then obviously they get spiteful and they start swatting because they're banned, and that's literally, there's nothing I can do about that. Like, I mean, if somebody wants to swat, like, it doesn't matter if they're fucking banned or not. Like, but I definitely don't like attracting those kinds of people. Like, if somebody says the N-word in chat and like says, "Oh, I hate black people," like, I'm gonna ban that person because I don't hate black people. That's not the kind of person I want to attract. You know, but I like to joke around and be trolly and like say jokes, but I don't actively hate anyone. I'm not like trying to be overly offensive for no fucking reason. If I'm gonna be offensive, it's gonna be in like a comedic way. You know what I mean? It's not gonna just be like out of nowhere, not funny, like total bullshit.
Are you worried, like, by being so involved with your viewers and being on stream all the time in the public eye, are you worried about losing your identity?
I mean, I went through that before. When I was in Europe, I was like not talking to anybody. I was traveling Europe by myself, and the only people I had was like my stream and like Reddit and stuff, and I was like looking at that all the time and every day, and I was like overly obsessed with it, and it was like obviously I was having like an issue where I was like losing myself, and that's why I got really depressed when I was in Europe, and I had to come home because I was just like very everything I was doing was just like the wrong thing. My Reddit was being very like, you know, like telling me everything I was doing was wrong at that point in time, and it was like I was like losing track of like the point of like what I was doing. Like, what was the point of streaming? What's the point of me doing anything? Like, what? I was just losing. I was losing it, dude. I was like, so I had to come home and just like take a week off and just reflect on like who I was as a person, and you know, away from the stream. That really helps, you know, just get away from the stream for a little bit sometimes, because it's like it reminds me of who I am, and that I have my own thoughts. Because I was looking at Reddit just nonstop in all my free time. I literally did not have my own thoughts when I was in Europe, and that was like really getting to me.
I mean, that's so interesting, because I think a lot of people, even if they're not streaming, you know, you're on Facebook, you're on Twitter, you're on Instagram, you're always getting feedback from people, you're always doing something for somebody else. That's something that's kind of a universal thing. And I feel like I have, you know, dealt with that. Anybody who is on the internet, like, what do you have any kind of like tip for people if they're like, "Oh, I'm, you know, too obsessed with social media. I can't get alone with my thoughts"?
I mean, nothing I will say can really change anybody's mind, but I'm just, if you're an influencer, I definitely would say don't look at social media all the fucking time like I was. I look at social media pretty often still, but I also know when to stop if I'm starting to feel like not normal. I know when to like get away from it. I don't just keep reading it, going into this fucking hole. You know what I mean? Like I would actively, like if somebody was like telling me something that would make me depressed, I would keep reading it. But nowadays, if somebody's like if there's something on the internet that's like making me depressed, I just stop reading it, or I just fucking block it or remove it or whatever the fuck. And that's a good tip. Like don't be afraid to like, you know what I mean, step away and just like have your own thoughts as an influencer, even if you like to take your community, you know, be engaged with them and stuff, because you're still your own person, and you can't lose that, because if you do, then it's gonna affect the stream negatively.
Cool. Is there anything else good on there? How many Adderall do you take? Do you actually take Adderall?
No, I don't take Adderall. Mitch needs to get away from social media, dude, and just fucking stream. Mitch's problem is he always asks his stream what the fuck they want. He needs to just do what the fuck he wants to do. Like, he doesn't need to ask his stream, dog, because they're obviously like not there for the right reasons at this point. For the most part, I mean, I think, based on when I read his chat. But okay, I don't take Adderall. I don't take any fucking drugs. I smoke a lot of weed, and I took the Molly because I was like, you know, something. I was like really desperate to get out of my depression. I used to be prescribed Adderall. When I was a kid, I was prescribed Adderall and like all these drugs, and I don't like taking pills, dude. I have like a really bad stigma against pills, because like pills just came off to me and like the wrong way when I was growing up. Like I was taking like fucking shitload of Adderall growing up, and it made me into a fucking zombie. So I like refuse to take pills nowadays, because I just have there's a huge stigma that I just hate when it comes to pills. My uncle went to jail for selling pills. Like I took a bunch of fucking pills growing up that zombified me. I just can't. I just don't like Adderall, pills, Xanax, none of that shit. It's all devil shit.
Somebody on here asked, how important is the Reddit? What do how important is the Reddit to your success?
I think it's pretty important. It's like very, like obviously I'm very engaged in my community. So if I'm very engaged with them, I need to obviously listen to what's being said, and Reddit's like a good outlet for that. So this guy right here has some good questions.
Okay. There's been multiple occasions of scamming donations and subscribers. Number 1, Paul, are you planning on refunding the people you lied to? No one was flown to LA. You advertised that one of the promises of higher tier sponsors would be a chance to get to a flight to LA and meet up with you. Here's an image of the tier 3 subscription in question and thread.
Yeah, so the original plan was to fly some tier 3 subs to LA. That was the original plan, every like month or every 2 months or something. But there were some things that came up that we just didn't go with it. So my developer that made these fucking subscriptions for this website, well, you know, he had he did some really questionable things. He made a Bitcoin or like a fucking like cryptocurrency miner without my permission on this game that he made. That, by the way, he didn't tell me that he was. I literally asked him, "Is he gonna make money off this?" He said no, and like. So he did that, which was questionable. And then there was also some questions where I got paid one time. So when you subscribed on the website, it went to his PayPal, and then he would pay me every month. That's how we set it up. So I got paid one time, I think, and it was like $600. So there was like definitely there was just some things that just weren't right on what was happening, and I just completely stopped advertising the subscription things, and just obviously like me and the developer fell out because there was just some questionable things there, and just none of that ended up going through because me and the developer obviously fell out, and I never received like most of that fucking money. And even right now, like it's like he sold the code to I got new developers. He sold the code to my new developers. I think he sold all the code except for the code that has to do with PayPal. And we're still trying to get that off him. That's why I haven't been advertising the site at the moment until we get full, like, you know, we get all the code from him. So it's like a complex situation. It's not just like as easy as that.
Number 2, what did you do with the fundraising money for Ed, Paul's former employer, dying dog after he declined it?
Okay, Ed didn't decline the money. So we donated $1,000 to this charity fund, and then he removed the charity off Facebook. Now, I never saw that money. I looked through my PayPal. I never saw that money come back into my PayPal because we donated the money through PayPal to the charity, and I just never received the money back. So I don't know where the fuck that money went. I don't know what happens when you close a fundraiser when, you know, when the money gets donated. I don't know where that money goes. I have no idea what happened to that money.
Okay, and number 3 was any correspondent with the fan with cancer who called entitled. A fan with Crohn's disease and colon cancer made a tremendous effort to meet Paul with $500 for Paul. I didn't eat for 2 days so my ostomy bag could be empty. I bought like $160 worth of ostomy supplies just for that day, and I went to the bank, withdrew $500 cash so I could take him to eat or get a nice sweet. Paul ditched him, which the fan later talked about in this thread. My mom, dad, and sister saw him ditch me live. There and other events happened in the night you couldn't control. During a live stream, Paul called the fan's post entitled.
Well, I guess instead of me answering that, I guess, so this person in question is actually downstairs in my living room. If you want to go and get him, okay. And then I guess we can just talk with him and about this right now. All right. What's up, man? How you doing? Good to see you again. What? Yeah, you're hungry. I will get food in a bit, dude. Okay, so I guess we'll just let you talk about what the Reddit post that you made was all about and just like what was going through your head and you know, what was going through my head and stuff, I guess.
Well, I was just kind of sad about the post, you know, well, not really, but like after all that stuff I saw on YouTube, you know, like all the problem that was going around, like revolving around you and stuff, you know, and like that, all that like memories came back to me, you know, like about like maybe that what you were doing, you know, like then was like contributing to like what's happening like right now. Like that's just like, I think I was just kind of mad too, still mad, you know, but I think it was just like kind of my bad too that I made that post too. I was kind of mad too. I felt so bad after like people started using that post to like get back at you. Like I didn't think people were gonna do that, and I felt so bad after that for using that post to like get back at him. But I didn't want, like, I just wanted to like let him know, like, you know, that I'm like really big fan of yours, you know. Like I did like all that just to meet you, you know. That's the only thing I just like wanted to let you know. Nothing like serious. You know, like I didn't want to like actually attack you post.
And I mean, what was going through my head was you know, obviously like that was the same night I got swatted and everything, so it's just like I just had a lot going on, and I was like flustered when I first heard that or saw that Reddit post. I was like very flustered, so I was like just, you know, just so I just, you know, was saying whatever I thought at that point in time. But yeah, so I mean, I don't know, but that Reddit post is in the past and like everything. I mean, you're here, so we after the stream we can definitely have time to like talk and chill and stuff. So I just hope you know, obviously I was swatted and stuff, so that night was like
apologize about that post, you know. I didn't think people were gonna use that to like against you. I just want to let you know how I felt, you know. That's all. I didn't think like thousands of people were using that post like against him. I even like re-messaged you. I'm like, I'm sorry, like I didn't bad after, because like I watch you every day almost, so I would not want you to fall, you know. So
what actually brings you here?
I had a doctor's appointment.
Okay, that makes sense. Are you gonna come to the party on Friday or? Okay, maybe. Okay, that makes sense. All right, cool. Yeah, I mean, I'll probably get into stream in like a little bit here, so I will be downstairs to chill with you guys in a little bit here. I know they're like hungry down there,
yeah,
so
we can wrap it up for sure.
Okay, so let's just wrap it up and let's just go down.
Okay.
Okay. Did you have any previous knowledge that Andreas was planning on cryptojacking? No, I did not. Absolutely not. Well, first of all, okay, people were like, "Oh, you had knowledge because you would make money from that." Listen, If I really wanted to make money, I would take a sponsor, play a fucking shitty ass game for $25,000. I don't need to fucking sit here and trick people into mining fucking Bitcoin for me. Like, this is gonna ruin my image. And why the fuck would I want that when I could literally just, like I said, take a 2-hour sponsor for $25,000? It just doesn't make sense. So no, I had no knowledge because obviously I wasn't paying Andreas, unless for like little offhand things. I gave him like 200, 300 bucks here and there. But all that money was for him because he obviously wanted to make money. So.
Do you live stream as a passion or a way to make money? Have you lost the passion to be the king of IRL after getting banned from Twitch?
Okay, so for a little bit, I did lose my passion. Like when I was dating Caroline, I definitely lost my passion because I was getting a lot of hate nonstop, and it really did not motivate me at all. So, you know, at that point, I was like, okay, let's go live because it's my job, and obviously I need to make money and, you know, pay my bills and stuff. But that passion definitely has come back. Like, I definitely am like more like I'm actively thinking about things and ways to like make the stream better at this point in time, because I mean in my free time, instead of hanging out with my girlfriend, I'm just like thinking about stuff for the stream. So I have that passion back. And obviously because I have some like future goals now, like I want to buy a house and stuff. I'm not quitting streaming if I buy a house, by the way, but I have like future goals, and buying a house is like a good motivator to keep me like making the stream better and better and better, because obviously if the stream is better, I make more money, and therefore I get a house, and then, you know, hopefully from there on I can find another goal, like maybe get a nice car or something after I get a house, or, you know, just I have things that help motivate me.
How do you differentiate friends who use you for money and fame versus real friends?
I know who uses me for money, and I know who's my actual friend. I have a wall in my... I just assume that people use me when the first time they talk to me until I get to know them.
I don't know how long this stream is gonna last for, but this guy came all the way.
Oh yeah, bring him in. Bring him in. He came all the way from China. That's right. Literally like 10 more minutes.
Tell him about the herbs and spices.
Hello. Hello.
Oh.
Hello. Take a seat.
You go for it. Go for it.
No, this is for you.
The seat of honor.
I think it's so dirty, man.
So, who are you?
I'm a Ting Li. I come from China. To come see you.
So, Ting Li.
Ah.
Nice to meet you, Ting Li. What brings you? You came all the way from China just to meet me?
Yeah.
No way, dude.
No, because I need to talk to you for something. You know, every day I do my math homework, right? But I've been doing well, and then after you start streaming again so many times every day, then like, what's so funny?
Okay, so I stream too much?
Yeah, because every time so consistent, I cannot do homework, you know? Every day I just sit there and watch the stream.
Maybe I should take a couple of days off now.
I don't know. They're gonna kill me, man.
So I don't know. I don't know if I should ask this. I really don't know. But are you serious?
What do you mean?
I mean, just are you like a real person?
The fuck? I'm over here, man. What do you mean?
So are you gonna come to the party? Well, first of all, so your car that you drove here, is that rented?
That's my cousin's car. I can drive here too, but it's on the other side of the road.
Okay, so are you gonna? So what about the party on Friday? Are you gonna come to that?
I mean, if I have to drive home, so I cannot drink. But I'm over 21.
Well, don't park. Uber. Don't park your car because if you park, there's nowhere to park. By the way,
my hotel is not hotel. My auntie house is 2 hours away.
So how do you get a hotel and your auntie's house mixed up? There's something not right here. You must be lying about something here.
No, I'm really.
You're from China.
I show you. I have my flight ticket.
Let's see the flight ticket. I just think, why would the Chinese government allow you to come to the USA?
Don't want to leak my my passport.
Oh guys, he's the real deal. We were downstairs, dude. This guy knows about herbs and spices.
He definitely, yeah, I saw he definitely came from China. He has this fucking flight there. So all right, so what do you like about my stream and what do you hate?
I don't know. I used to watch for a long time, and then I also on Reddit shit posts about you.
Really?
But
what's your
no negative? Okay, it's all good.
What's your Reddit account?
Can I say on stream? I don't want to say because they next time they do hatred.
Oh, come on, just say it. What's your Reddit?
I can show you.
Yeah, show me.
Okay.
Can I see what kind of post you?
Oh, sure. But I got some private stuff on there too, from other Reddit.
Okay, I'll just can I read out one of the shit posts?
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Okay, so why don't you like Sam and Andy?
Because he's so loud. And then he's like, okay, 5 more things, okay, I tell you. It's like, what the fuck, man? Get out of here. And then, like, you guys streaming downstairs, right? And then he come up again. He's like, hey, hello, watch me on my channel, you know? I was like, fuck off, man.
What do you think about Taiwan?
I don't know. Taiwan, they have hot girls. But I tell you, they're not easy, okay? A lot of people think they're easy.
That's what I've heard.
No.
So you would say China number 1?
America.
I think yeah, China.
China what?
China, okay, China number 2, okay? Are you happy? You happy? You know, a lot of people downstairs hungry, you know? You interview for so long.
We're hungry, Paul.
Yeah, look at him, man. Brad Pitt gonna become anorexic, okay?
Okay, how long are you here for?
When you guys came back.
So how long are you here in LA for?
Oh, it's I think 2 weeks.
Okay. All right. I would love to have you on my stream again, dude. But we probably should go eat because people are waiting. So sorry if we didn't get all your questions on Reddit, everybody. But
There was one question on the Reddit that I
all right. Let's.
one last one.
Which one was it?
Oh, this I want to know about this.
How does my mom feel about her image being posted all over the internet?
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of interesting because all right. So right now, my mom is unemployed. Because the job my mom was a COO at this company that like works with like private prisons, and that prison company moved to another state, and she couldn't go with them because she didn't want to like move. So she's like unemployed right now, and like so finding another position, like another high up position, like a COO or something, is like very difficult by itself already. Now, finding a job that's with a high up position so she can make the same amount of money she was making before is way harder with her image all over the internet. You know, say first you type Enzo Danino and there's some weird fucking shit that pops up. So getting a job for her is like very hard right now. And I just like it's like I don't know if it's because of the shit on the internet, but it's just she's been unemployed for about a year now. And you know, it's like it sucks. And she's been trying to get a job and like she can't even get a job at like a minimum wage job because she has her fucking master's and you know she's like overqualified. She's either overqualified for everything or you know it's obviously hard to get a job as a CFO or some bullshit. So it's she's unemployed right now, and I don't know if the internet stuff has anything to do with it, but I mean she definitely doesn't like the shit on the internet.
I mean, do you feel bad about that if you're keeping your mom from being employed?
I mean, I definitely feel bad, and there's nothing I can do at this point. Like, I can't remove fucking YouTube videos and stuff, but I've definitely removed a lot of things off Reddit that were posted on Reddit a year ago because, you know, I felt bad. I tried to, like, fix that, so.
Do you think she would, if I called her, would she talk to me?
Yes.
Okay.
Would you like to talk to her right now?
I think I should call her off stream, probably.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, you can. I'll definitely give you her number and you can talk to her. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So yeah,
right.
she definitely likes the stream though. She likes that I make good money, and she likes that I'm like broken out of my shell and stuff. She likes the stream. She just doesn't like. They just don't like when they talk about her.
Because I feel like there's a meme on there that your parents are really mad about it and are mean and right, like that seems to be the narrative on Reddit.
Ask the purple line to make Enzio amazing results on Google. Well, that's not up to me. It's up to you guys. Yeah, she definitely doesn't like the weird shit on the internet about her, but she likes the stream. But all right, we gotta end the stream here because it's time to fucking go and shit. So I do give my mom money, by the way, for the guy in chat who said I give my mom like a little bit of money here and there when she asks for it, when she needs it. So don't worry about that.